You're a humbug, Trixie, and worse, a thief.
I can't steal what's lawfully mine, you tangle-footed dimwit.
Break it up, you two. I've heard more than enough of your shit for one day.
That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then, and you've no right to it now.
What's going on here?
A disagreement between professionals. None of your business.
I risked my life sneaking around marauders to claim that wreck. And I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done it. Eat fist!
All right, that's enough! This is a family establishment! You want to make a mess? You make it outside!
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a fortune.
You get a lot of tavern squabbles around here?
It's the same fight every day. 5 years we've been at this, and we still can't agree on how to properly tag salvage. Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit quietly, or I'll forbid you to come here at all. Is that understood?
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout, and we'll settle this later on our own terms.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other's throats.
What do you propose?
Would you do me a favor and weigh in as a third party? I can use an unbiased set of eyes on the problem, and an outsider like you fits the bill.
Fine, I'll give it a whirl.
Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the generous stranger.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this equation.
Go on.
May I first say what an honor it is to stand in your company. Your exploits with Miss Hagen are the stuff of legend. Right, where was I? So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right? I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people.
How did you mark claim?
I climbed on top of it and called out in my loudest voice, "Finders keepers!"
Is that legal?
I don't know about legal, but it's legit by sublight standards. Assuming anyone was around to hear it, which we can't know for sure.
Someone must have heard me. They just ain't brave enough to step forward and admit it.
What's your side of the story, Trixie?
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day, so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me.
You had your chance to talk.
Sorry, I won't speak out of turn again.
Anyway, that's my story, sir.
What mark did you leave at the salvage?
I drew X in the dirt, with my toe.
Couldn't the marauders have walked over it by now, or the wind have blown it over?
Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for bearing the weight of responsibility. You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
I give that Trixie.
Thank you. Law, it's hard to get a fair trial in this sprat-fucked colony.
You'll pay for this. I don't know how, and I'm not sure when. But just you wait, and maybe it'll happen. Someday.
Here's a 6-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change.
This is really nice.
You're just gonna take some drug you found in the garbage?
It's not some drug, it's adrenatime.
I don't see a label.
If it wasn't safe, it wouldn't be in a syringe.
Can't argue with that.
Oh my god. Oh, preserved eye.
Hey, Marble. Oh, wait. Nope, that's a human eyeball.
As a medical professional, I gotta say, that is very well preserved and disgusting. Lucky's problem was that he was always overconfident in himself. But us, we got this, whatever it is.
Who knew what darkness lurked in the heart of Gorgon? Captain Hawthorne and his crew were about to find...
Whatever happened here, we're not gonna be next. Be ready.
I'm glad you cut him off. Jesus Christ. Why does it look like there's like a shield around us and it's like breaking? Like, it looks like the sky is fake. Don't tell me this is like the creative incubation. It is.
Initiating ocular measurement.
And that's why we need the eye.
Measurement complete. Ocular identification complete. Welcome, Clarence Mostly. Access granted. Welcome to the Office of Creative Incubation.
You're telling me Spacer's Choice can build an office this pretty? I can't pay their workers a couple more bits?
True. Whoa, I want to go in there. Ah, it looks so cool. Guys are ruining the experience. Drink efficiently.
Must be the executive office. Excuse me while I leave muddy tracks all over the floor.
Whoa, what is this? Fedora.
I knew I heard a little weasel sniffing about. You'd best go back the way you came. There's nothing for you here.
If you're about to issue me a dire warning, you can eat it.
I understand that you think yourself a big hero here on a big, important job. The last one did too. But you've grossly misapprehended the situation here. This place is a graveyard. All that was done here should be forgotten and left to rot.
You're hiding something. I'll find it out.
Gorgon is the birthplace of marauders. We created them here, in this very facility. They are our misbegotten children, born of hubris and vanity.
I don't understand. They made marauders here? How?
But marauders are just mindless lunatics, right? There can't be more to it than that.
They hold no fondness for trespassers. I've placed the facility under emergency lockdown to keep them safe. Let the marauders die in peace, or I will make certain that you die with them.
Looks like there's more to this job than I thought.
Spacer's Choice made the marauders? All of them? Somehow that sounds even more insane out loud.
Marauders have caused almost as much death and destruction as factory accidents. If whoever that was is right, this place is hiding something big.
Doesn't change what we're here to do. We need that journal.
Captain, transmission request from Ambrose Manor.
I'm guessing Minnie wants an update. Patch her through.
Captain, imagine my surprise when I saw the Unreliable leaving Gorgon with so much urgency and purpose. Tell me you found Mother's journal. I'm positively dying for good news.
Someone warned me to stay away from Gorgon, then lock down the place.
Someone? You mean someone still has access to the facility? Oh, after all this time. Who was it?
You tell me.
I don't even know who's still alive from Project Gorgon, much less who would care enough to guard its secrets. Make sure you have eyes on the back of your head. I doubt we've seen the last of this human vexation. If I know Spacer's Choice, getting past the lockdown will be more complicated than just hitting a big red button. You'll need authorization, and layers of it.
I don't suppose your mother left you any passwords or mysterious keycards?
No. I think you're going to have to rely on good old-fashioned detective work. It's a good thing you have keen senses, a reliable ship, and a very wealthy sponsor.
If there's nothing else, I should get going.
Naturally. I shan't keep you for another moment. Safe travels. If your leads give you any trouble, be sure and give them some trouble back, yes?
The board really hates me, so I don't think this is gonna be fun for me. See, this is what I thought the problem would be. wasn't much of a problem. 3,000, dude. They pay you guys good out here.
Hey, I know your face. You're wanted by the board.
That is true.
Wow. You're a living, breathing outlaw. That is, until security outside gets their eyes on you, but let's not spoil the moment. If you're
Okay.
here for the annual Canid review, I'm afraid it's already over. Only thing going on behind those doors is good, old-fashioned lawful behavior. This greeting constitutes your confidentiality agreement. You hereby agree not to disclose the location or existence of these events. Thank you for cooperating.
It sounds good to me.
Oh, that's just so encouraging to hear. I'll just go ahead and add your comment to my permanent record. Now then, how can I help you?
I'm looking for Clarence mostly.
Mr. Mostly is indeed attending our event, although I am disappointed to discover he did not officially enter his Canid Laplace into our competition. You should find Mr. Mostly just inside the prep room. Head inside and take the door to your left.
Thank you. Oh, it's nice up in here. These are cute. Oh, so they're fighting for the trophy. Hello. Clarence mostly, right? Thanks for the pocket watch.
Hey, Maverick Johnston's newest star. I've got a question for you. Do you know the interesting thing about Canid shows?
No, but I have a feeling you're about to tell me anyway.
Good instincts. Mathematically speaking, the interesting thing about Canid shows is this. They're an exercise in futility. Winning is predetermined. Over time, the inevitable trend is that the race goes to the swift. Time and chance are just statistical outliers. In other words, if you put enough Canids through enough trials, the one with the most optimal attributes generally wins. Exercise in futility.
Are you Clarence mostly?
What gave me away? Wait, don't tell me. You've read my monograph, Putting the Us in Calculus, or How to Use Mathematics to Find Your Statistically Significant Other. I'm afraid I don't really do autographs, but yes, I am Clarence Mostly.
The name sounds familiar. Mostly Fine Furniture Company, right?
Yes, that's us. Mostly oak trees, too. My grandfather invented them, you know. Well, no, he didn't invent mostly oaks, but he did purchase the naming rights back during the terraforming days. It's essentially the same thing.
I've been looking for you. You're the last known staff member on the Project Gorgon.
Oh. Then you're not here about my monograph. It's true, I was involved with Project Gorgon, but that chapter of my life is long since closed. Listen, I don't know what you want with Gorgon or with me, but let me give you some free advice, Let the past go. Live in the moment. Enjoy the party.
You want to keep living in the moment? Show me how to lift the emergency
I was
lockdown.
wondering if you were the sort of person to accept sensible advice or respond with threats of violence. Thank you for resolving that ambiguity for me. Lifting the lockdown won't be easy. You'll need to send overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. I don't have that level of clearance, but I know two people who do. The trouble is, I don't know you. I don't trust you. I washed my hands of Gorgon, and you're asking me to dirty them all over again. I'm going to need a good reason.
Project Gorgon created the Marauders. You can't just walk away from that.
Yes, the birthplace of the Marauders. And a graveyard for all our mistakes. Starting Project Gorgon was our first mistake. Trying to bury Project Gorgon while it's still very much alive and clawing its way back to the surface, that may be our last mistake.
I'm just trying to uncover the truth. Help me do the right thing.
I advise against trying to dig up what's been buried. Sooner or later, you're going to draw up something rotten. I want a favor from you. Do something for me, and I'll do something for you. That way, we don't have to rely on mutual trust. The grand prize trophy to the Canid Review. I want it in my hands. Get me that trophy, and I'll give you the remaining researchers. Names, locations, as much information as I have.
It's a deal.
What, really? You'll do it? I mean, just like that? Don't you want to know why I asked you?
Fine, I'll buy it. Why do you want to steal your stupid trophy?
My canid, Laplace, is statistically superior to every other canid in this review. Better average sprinting time, superior gait coefficient, optimal anatomical symmetry. I didn't bother entering little Laplace in this pointless contest. He's already won on paper, you see. That trophy rightfully belongs to him.
I'll be right back with that trophy.
Head into the main hall and take the elevator down into the maintenance tunnels. You'll find a service passage that leads up into the trophy room. The maintenance tunnel is the only way up into the trophy room. Some technician barred the door shut on our end. Ask Tilda Coatsworth about it, over by the podium.
Wait here. Oh. I just stole it. It was actually pretty easy.
You know, the careers of 9 out of 13 actors end after their debut serial. Enjoy the fame while it lasts.
What? Today's your lucky day, Clarence. I've got your trophy.
My trophy! Look at this thing. Have you ever seen a more garish monument to the boredom of the elite? If only Grandfather Mosley were alive today, I would have loved to wave this trophy right in front of his cataracts. I hope you won't take it personally when I say I had my doubts about you. Nothing ever gets done in Byzantium, you see. Competent work is, well, a statistical anomaly.
Names and locations, Clarence. I don't have all day.
Lifting the emergency lockdown requires overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. Access to those facilities requires authorizations from 2 senior-level researchers. Marion Blakesley, Jasper Lowe. They went into hiding after the project collapsed, but I've managed to calculate their last known whereabouts within a reasonable margin of error.
Calculated?
We keep all sorts of data on a permanent record. Spending habits, dietary restrictions, movement. Finding a person is no more complicated than solving an equation. After the project shut down, I had to keep my mind occupied. I worked on my actuarial tables, calculated the average lifespan of a spacer's choice worker, that sort of thing. I realized some of the researchers had to be alive. I ran some numbers, did a little research, and concluded that the 2 most likely survivors are Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe.
You haven't been able to let go of Project Gorgon either.
Nonsense. I just needed a good old-fashioned statistical problem to busy my mind. Keeps the faculties lubricated.
You talk about leaving the past behind, but you still feel responsible.
Let me stop you there. I don't accept anything for free. And if you're going to analyze me, I'd have to go through the trouble of hiring you on contract. Think what you will of my intentions, my calculations are sound. You'll find Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe at the enclosed locations.
So these 2 researchers are the only ones left.
As far as I know, Jasper Lowe and Marion Blakesley are the only 2 surviving researchers with high-level clearance. If you want to lift the lockdown on the manufactory, you'll need to send an override from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. I'm afraid it's the only way.
That's all I need to know.
Try to exercise caution. It's good for your lifespan.
I think this is where we're going to leave it for this episode. I'm really enjoying this DLC. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.